Video games are complex. Every year we see new releases that push the bar further and further. Better graphics, bigger worlds, deeper gameplay. Gaming as a whole is like a big, ferocious monster, ever growing and consuming our lives. I love it. But then a game like Carrion oozes along and reminds me that no matter how much I long for the state-of-the-art complicated experiences, sometimes the best and most enjoyable games are the ones with the simplest concepts and gameplay. Carrion is a beautiful example of this. Developed by Phobia Games, fitting name, and published by Devolver Digital, Carrion is a 2D action-adventure reverse horror game where you, an escaped biological terror, must make your way through an underground facility, solving environmental puzzles, feasting on prey, and destroying those who would stand in your way. Metroidvania is an easy label to apply here, and indeed, Carrion is a light Metroidvania, as your progression is tied to earning new abilities. But for me, Carrion also reminded me of the cinematic platformers of the past. Games like Prince of Persia, Another World, Flashback, and Abe's Odyssey. Immersive titles where the focus was on simple game design, tricky puzzles, and smooth, high-quality presentation. You see this influence in the animations of your human snacks, and certainly in the monster itself, whose jutting, invasive, physics-governed tentacles are sure to put a chill down your spine. The game's incredible visuals do a great job of putting your imagination into high gear. Carrion doesn't tell you what's going on. It never clearly defines its story details. Everything is up to the player's interpretations. Strictly through the visuals, all you know is dangerous contained monster and secret facility containing it. From there, it's not hard to come up with your own backstory to the game, which I think adds a lot to the fun factor, and once again shows how effective the raw presentation of Carrion is. And while it would be easy to assume a game like Carrion would lean more in the horror comedy realm, there are a few moments in the game I found to be absolutely chilling, in large part due to the ambiguity of it all. Oh my god. So far, I've been gushing on the concept and look of Carrion, but what about the gameplay? Well, Carrion's elegant simplicity applies here too. The foundation of Carrion's fun is just controlling the monster itself. This evil jello can move anywhere in the environment with its sticky tentacles and can squeeze through just about every gap, leaving behind red viscera, which is a great immersive touch. You really feel like an evil, twisted force of nature in this game, and you can't help but revel in your sinister feasting. I mean, it probably speaks to my own twisted mind, but I got a kick out of trying to make my ambushes look like something you would see in a monster movie. Now, of course, your buffets aren't always this easy. Sometimes your food will try and fight back, either through small arms, mechs, or drones, and much of the combat boils down to exploiting the moments these hopeless fools let their guard down. It's a lot of fun, and gets fairly challenging towards the end as the humans get desperate and send more and more numbers at you. As expected in a Metroidvania, your progression is tied to acquiring new abilities gained from these biotanks found in the environment. Some notable examples being shooting a web to grab out-of-reach levers, also handy for snagging food as well, a pounce ability to break through flimsy walls, and a puppet master ability letting you take over and control humans. Now, what adds a nice layer to the puzzle solving here is that your abilities are tied to your biomass, aka these 3 health bars at the top of the screen. So if you want to use the ram attack, you have to have a biomass of 2, or 2 health bars. Whereas if you want to use the web ability, you have to have a biomass of 1. Throughout the game, you'll be able to find these pink pools where you are able to drop your biomass off. To gain your biomass back, all you have to do is return to these pools and reabsorb your discarded goo. Or by the old-fashioned way, by chomping on some human meat bags. Much of the challenge in the game's puzzle solving comes from knowing when to drop off your biomass to use a specific ability, with some of the puzzles requiring switching biomasses multiple times. There are also times where you may need to hold off on your hungry temptations, as increasing your biomass might get in the way of solving a puzzle. It's an interesting twist on the Metroidvania formula that maybe could have been pushed a little further. That being said, the sheer amount of carnage and logic featured in Carrion keeps the game from ever feeling boring. It took me around 5 hours to complete Carrion, which I felt was the perfect length. However, if there's one thing I can criticize, it's Carrion's lack of replay value. There's not much here to bring you back into the game, not even a higher difficulty setting. There are 9 hidden containment units that you can go back and try to find, which grants you a special perk, which is good, but that's pretty much it. At the very least, you would think the game would have some unlockable challenge rooms, seeing as its gameplay is a perfect fit for such a thing, but nada. Greater replay value is something I hope Phobia Games will focus on for Carrion 2. And yes, I do think there will be a Carrion 2. Devolver Digital has given us yet another unique, fun, charming, and disturbing indie that is sure to have a nice cult fan base, not unlike Hotline Miami. If you love monster horror or are looking for a unique Metroidvania experience, then I can't recommend Carrion enough. This is one of the best indies I've played this year, and I'm looking forward to what hideous machinations Phobia Games has in store for us next. But what do you guys think? Anybody else slurping up some helpless humans in Carrion? Be sure to hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think of the game. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click that subscribe button, smash the like icon, and share with your friends, especially the ones you know who would love Carrion. I'm sure you can think of a few. Looking for other unique indie experiences? Then might I recommend my video on Return of the Obra Dinn, one of the best indies I've played in years. I post videos every Thursday, so be sure to ring that notification bell so you are the first to see them. I'm Kirk, and thank you for watching this video. Stay safe out there.